Have I got movies for you, darling? We've got bunches of movies coming out this weekend. All right, let me start with, I guess, two of the biggest ones. Knowing, which is the Nicolas Cage movie, which it's hard to review because it's really two different movies. Nick Cage plays a single father of an adorable kid who's played by Chandler Canterbury, and the deal is that that 50 years ago, a disturbed child, when asked to put something in a time capsule to be opened 50 years down the road, instead of drawing a picture, left a bunch of numbers. So, and his kid inherits the numbers. The idea is that Nicholas is a PhD in something at MIT and figures out that the numbers are really a code and talk about disasters. So the first part of the movie is Nick doing his, treasures thing, running after things and figuring things out. We've seen him do it before and he does it very well, which is sort of interesting. The second part of the movie, however, goes where no movie should go, which is the idea of a new world order, and a lot of the icons look exactly out of Watchmen. I'm not going to spoil the picture for you, but it's not the second half doesn't work at all. It's very loud, it's very noisy. A lot of people have to die, and I'm not sure it's exactly what people are in the mood for these days, which is a lot of catastrophe. So I would give Knowing probably the first half I would give 3 stars, the second half 1 star, so I would average out as 2 stars. All right, number 2, we've got the Julia Roberts movie coming out, Duplicity, with Clive Owen and Julia. And this is supposed to be a romantic comedy. The problem is, number 1, that there's no chemistry between the 2 stars. Number 2, it's better than 2 hours long. Number 3, it's too cute by half. I really like the director, and that he had some sort of cute techniques. I love the supporting actors, including Tom Wilkinson, what's Giamatti's first name? I just forgot about it. Paul, thank you. It just went out of my head. Kathleen Chalfant, Dennis O'Hare, all of them are very good. The idea is that you've got 2 corporate titans fighting it out, and Julia and Clive are under, one worked for the British intelligence, one worked for the CIA, and the deal is that they're now corporate spies. By the end of it, you were just so tired of the movie that you don't care, so that's kind of a problem. The Great Buck Howard is a really fun movie. Colin Hanks, who, yes, is Tom's kid, and who, yes, is on Broadway with Jane Fonda in 33 Variations. John Malkovich plays the Great Buck Howard, who is a mentalist, who can read other people's mind. This is kind of a fun movie. Unfortunately, it probably will not do the business that either Knowing or Duplicity will do. Let me tell you about 2 other small movies, one of which is Sin Nombre, which is a small movie in that it's in Spanish, but it's a very good movie. It's about Mexican gangs, believe it or not, and it's really very, very good. But it's it's one of those small movies that everybody rent on DVD. One of the small movies that you shouldn't miss, and it's one of my 2 picks of the week, is The New 20. I went to this movie kind of kicking and screaming. It's an independent film, and it says text is the new sex, gay is the new straight, friends the new family, 30 isn't what it used to be. Terrific movie. Great acting, very sexy, an interesting movie. However, having said that, let me not forget Bob Funk, which is, again, another little movie. You can see there are a lot of movies coming out this week. Bob Funk works for his mom, and the first half of this movie is really fun. Here's a wastrel, womanizing drunk who just makes a mess of his life, and he's wonderful to watch. Unfortunately, he finds redemption when his mother fires him, and it's not as much fun. As one of his cohorts said, I liked him better when he was a drunk. I did too. I like the movie better. However, the number 1 movie this week is going to be, and should be, I Love You, Man. Now, I have to be honest about it. John Hamburg is the son of one of my colleagues here. But I will also be honest with you. John wrote Meet the Parents. He also wrote Meet the Fockers. I didn't like either of them particularly. I thought they were crude and rude, and they had a couple of funny moments, but I thought that they were reaches. On the other hand, I Love You, Man is adorable. It is smart, crude, rude, but it really tackles an important subject. The idea is Paul Rudd, who's you could eat with a spoon, he's so adorable, plays a guy who's about to marry this wonderful woman who's Quincy Jones's daughter, who's adorable, and he realizes he not only doesn't have anybody to call to tell about this, he doesn't have anybody to ask to be his best man. So he then launches himself, with his girlfriend's help, on a quest to find the perfect friend. And it smacks of how men and women date each other, of it's not me, it's you, serial dating, all the missteps. And this is just, it's a lovely movie, it's hilarious. Both men and women will like it. It's crude enough for guys. There are a bunch of throw-up scenes. Yes, you won't be disappointed. But it's a great cast, it's got a lot of heart, and it's a lot of fun. So I Love You Man should be the #1 movie. Quickly, I will tell you about DVDs. Milk is out on DVD this week. If you haven't seen it, you should. It is terrific. It is Sean Penn at his best. Also, Josh Brolin was terrific in it, as was basically everybody. James Franco. Battle in Seattle, I really loved. Having been a little activist in my youth, to understand that for a demonstration to go off, somebody had to plan it. Ray Liotta's wonderful, and everybody's wonderful in it. Do not miss Happy Go Lucky. This is a movie for which the heroine won the BAFTA, which is the British equivalent of the Oscar, and I'm particularly like it. It's Mike Leigh's latest, and I particularly liked it because the person I was with at the movie said, "This woman is you." Unfailingly cheerful. So, #1 movie of the week, I Love You Man. #1 DVD, Happy Go Lucky. Enjoy yourself. I'm Dr. Joy Browne.